Hey everybody, we were out driving around on the side-by-side and came across this. You're probably thinking, what's he doing filming a bunch of hay bales? Well, this isn't hay. This is wheat. Just to kind of give you an idea, this may become a problem. Because up here, and then over by the tree line over there is another big field full of wheat that they've baled up because it's not producing anything. We've seen a bunch of other wheat fields that just aren't where they need to be at for harvest, and it's really close to harvest. This may not be good, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Philip with What If Tomorrow and, and the Night Acres. This video is actually going to go on both YouTube pages just because I feel it's important. So if you haven't went and liked and subscribed to our What If Tomorrow media on YouTube, or if you haven't went and liked and subscribed to the Night Acres, go over there and do that. The Night Acres is more of a family-oriented adventure, I should say, in homesteading. And the Night Acres, we talk a lot about preparedness and just self-sufficiency. I mean, and we have some other stuff on What If Tomorrow Media. We talk about more fringe subjects, things like that. But I felt this was important to get out, as you've seen before the early clip, because if that clip, with the farmers around here already baling wheat. There's my rooster, old Cluck Norris. But if they're out there already baling wheat, that means it's not good. Is that standard throughout the nation? I don't know. But we were driving around last night, and a lot of the wheat does not look good at all. They should be getting ready to harvest, and it's just and they're mowing it. So it's not promising for the food supply, and that's what I want to kind of touch on today. I implore you, both, everybody that watches, I implore you to get ready. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's just a food shortages, but with food shortages, economics 101, the less of a product you have, the higher they can charge you for it. So do what you can do to get away from that system. I'm a firm believer in self-sufficiency, obviously, but I also believe that you can take care of yourself better than anybody else can. You know what you want, you know what you need. However, when you buy stuff from the store, and I'm not knocking it because we still go to the store, I'm not going to deny that, but we're trying to get away from it as much as we can. We have our garden, and if you haven't watched it over on the What If Tomorrow Media, go over to the Night Acres page. We do a quick little garden tour and stuff we're doing in there. Right now it's amazing. We're getting some decent rain this year, even though we're still in the drought. But we want you to think about things. Because let's face reality, the food you buy at the store isn't as nutrient rich as it would be if you grew your own garden, if you created your own ecosystem through permaculture, or built up your own soil, or fed your animals. What's going into your animals. You're feeding your own animals. You're taking care of them if you can. I'm not saying everybody can. I have the luxury of having property. I have the luxury of raising some animals. We're not done getting them yet, and you'll see more of that in the video in future videos. But do what you can to provide for yourself. It's not easy to start. I don't sugarcoat anything. It's not easy to start, but once you get started, it gets easier, if that makes any sense. It just came out. I think it's the USDA wants people to register their gardens. And it's crazy to think about. Why does the government need to know what I have in my garden? It's none of their business. People need to stand up and be more self-sufficient. Even if you have to grow stuff in your home, you can buy microgreens. You can buy, there's like miniature tomato plants, miniature pepper plants that you can raise in your own house. You don't even have to go outside. You can grow things on a windowsill. This is nothing new to the What If Tomorrow community, but I can't stress it enough. You have to take responsibility for yourself and your family. If you do that, you take away some of the power that the powers that be hold over you. You have to do that. You have to take control of your life. Stop depending on the government to take care of you, because they don't have your best interests at heart. I think deep down, everybody knows this. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, your political affiliations. Deep down, I think most people know that the government does not have your best interest at heart. I'm not anti-government, but I am pro very, very small government, constitutional government. There's a lot of other things like that. I can go on a rant politically, but I'm not. This is not a political video. This is just me trying to bring awareness to what's going on. I ask you to wake up, pay attention. I'll post some links and I'll post some videos of the news articles and all of that, talking about how the USDA, I can't remember if it's USDA or if the FDA, how they want you to register your garden. You know, our garden, we're raising for us. We're raising to preserve, you know, because we're not going to be able to eat all we're producing. But we want to preserve what we have so we can get away from that entire system. Sure, we're still going to be dependent on the system for right now, you know, with electricity, with water, the necessities, but we're trying to take steps to at least relieve some of that burden, you know, with our grocery. I mean, everybody knows, I mean, groceries are crazy expensive right now. You can't, you know, before I would spend $200 a week just on groceries. Now, it doesn't go near as far. This is not just common to me. This is everybody. Everybody knows this. So please take steps to prepare yourself, to provide for you and yours, so you're not going to be as impacted. Even if you do provide just some of it, you'll save money in the long run. And that's what's important, is saving that money that's not going as far as it used to be. You know, and there's rumors of the banking crisis and rumors of businesses probably going out of business soon. And I'm not trying to instill fear. I'm trying to speak reality. You can't take what the government says at face value, because I don't believe there's any trust and faith in our government anymore. So what Mark and I preach on our What If Tomorrow, on the What If Tomorrow podcast, what we preach is self-sufficiency, preparedness. But over the last year, we've really hit building your own community. Build a community. Help rely on your neighbors, your friends, things like that. If somebody has a place where people can meet, where they can go, come together and plant a garden. Come together and can, you know, foods. Come together, learn how to butcher animals if you know somebody that butchers animals. All of this, it all ties in. But start coming together as a community, because that's what it's about. I've been in contact with my neighbors. My nearest neighbor is probably 3/4 of a mile away. One down the road we sell eggs to. You know, we sell them cheap just to keep them moving, because we probably get average 15, 16 eggs a day. I mean, obviously that's more than what our family of four can eat. I mean, I have two older sons, but they don't live here. One's in college, one's doing the adult thing. But I have two smaller children as well, so we have to provide for them. If you have any questions, if you have any at all, reach out to us. whatiftomorrowpc@gmail.com or thenightacres@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have on how to get started. I'll be happy to answer any questions on how to reach out to people. I'm not an outgoing person. I'm really not, believe it or not. I mean, we're doing videos and all that. I'm not a very outgoing person. But I'm trying to force myself out of that comfort zone to speak to people. You can see our rabbit out there. She likes to pull her food bowl up. But take this time while we have it to get ready. That's the most important thing right now, is to get ready to provide for you and yours. Learn how to do things that you don't know how to do when it comes to food preparedness, whether that be canning, whether that be planting a garden. We've canned a little bit here in the past, but that's on our big to-do list this year, is learning how to can. Thankfully, I have people in my circle that are old enough that still remember how to do it. So I can actually learn from somebody face to face and not have to rely on the internet or a book or anything like that. I will say that he crows all day, guys. From sun up to sundown, he crows all day. He's crazy. But I will say that if you're going to get books, buy physical copies. That way you have them. If something happens to where the internet goes out, you know, with everything going on with Russia and Ukraine and China and all that stuff, I mean, it's a possibility. You have to look at all the possibilities, just because this is the preparedness world. And on that note, I think the word prepper has a negative connotation, because the propaganda has come out and spoke out against these type of people, which is really not. It's common sense. If you really sit down and you think about it, preparedness is common sense. It's what our grandparents, great-grandparents, even some parents, you know, my parents, you know, they canned. My dad grew an amazing garden, which I apparently didn't inherit his green thumb, but we canned every year. Now we've gotten away from that. We've gotten to relying on the system, you know, the supply system, supply chain. I'm seeing more rumbles of the ships being kept out on the West Coast and not being able to come to port. I'm seeing more rumors of that. So there's another hit on the supply chain. If you don't know how to grow, if you don't have, you know, go to these farmers markets. They're springing up everywhere. I know all around here, every weekend there's a farmers market. I think every weekend and some Tuesdays, and there's one a day that's during the week. Go buy fresh produce from those people that are producing. Ask questions. These people, I'm sure, will be happy to answer any questions you have. Or, like I said, reach out to us, myself, my wife, or Mark. Like I said, this is going up on both of these channels because this information is important. But keep in mind, y'all, do it for you and yours. Start small. Build your community. Start small. Build your local community, or build your home community first. You and your family. Then branch out to you and your neighbors. Discuss what you guys would do. Maybe come together as a neighborhood and plant. Use somebody's backyard if you can to plant a community garden. Everybody pitch in, build raised beds or whatever. You can find wood cheap. Some people just want to get rid of it. Start looking on your Facebook marketplaces, Craigslist. Some people may just want to get rid of it, get it out of their yard because they're not going to use it. So start thinking about ways to get at this stuff. If you don't have the money, think about things you can use. You know, use buckets. Use see, what else do we have? I mean, a lot of people are getting rid of planters and things like that. We've done raised bed in buckets. We've done bags. These canvas, they're kind of like a canvas, maybe more of a felt. They're stiff, but we've grown potatoes in them. We tried it last year. It worked out okay, but we didn't get the turnout that we wanted. But it doesn't mean it won't work for something else. So there's ways around it. Think outside the box and start producing for yourself. With all that being said, everybody, I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you watching. Do us a favor, like and subscribe to both channels. Like I said, this is going up on the What If Tomorrow Media channel and the Night Acres. Do a search for the Night Acres. And come along, follow, like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff for more. And we'll talk to you guys later.